Good afternoon and welcome back to the channel there. Well, it looks like spring has finally sprung here in central Pennsylvania. It is the first week of April and we're finally having, today it's probably getting in the mid 60s. Still at night we are having somewhat cold temperatures. Below freezing at night, but in the days it looks like we're gonna have some 50 degrees days here for a while. So the weather's finally cooperating. So this is a great time for you to get out all like your spring plants, so your lettuce, your cabbage, peas, and things like that. I mean, our last frost date is until the middle of April, but I mean, right now we might still see a light snow. It'll be like maybe a dusting to an inch, but it's usually nothing that's really going to affect anything type of plants like that. They usually make it through pretty good. Now, I'm here in the garden today. And what I wanted to show you is how I'm doing things here in the garden, just in case that you are trying to do exactly what we're doing here. So like I said, this was a mountainous property. It's up in the side of the mountain. There is no soil here at all. I mean, we're talking that you try to dig down in there and it is just rock. Now, most people would say, okay, put in raised beds, getting some dirt, and you know, that's a lot of expense. And we're trying to do everything on a budget and trying to keep expenses down. And that's what this whole channel is, to kind of to show you what we're doing here to keep expenses down. You know, once you buy the land and you pay for the land and then you're trying to work the land, a lot of times the budget's tight and you don't know exactly how to do it. So let's go over here and take a look. So, you know, if you look down, that's pretty much what everything around here looks like, just rock. So the one thing I've been doing is, as you see here in the garden, I just been putting down layer after layer of wood chips and barn waste. Now there is some pieces of wood here. The previous owner had a portable sawmill that he had set up here. They used to do a lot of sawing. There was a lot of slat wood here. Now the majority of that I burned it through the wood burner, but then there was quite a few pieces that I had left over that I just kind of laid down here. Down layers of wood chip and barn waste. Now we have goats here. Goats and rabbits, any of your pelletized manure, you can use that pretty much right away. The cow and the pig and the chickens, you're gonna need to compost that down. I wouldn't recommend putting that on right away. So as you can see here, my pile of waste here, I don't know if you remember it there, I'm starting to spread that out. I want to put it on as thick as possible and try to cover all this up. As you can see, I want a good, thick, heavy layer. Then what I do is, now this year here, I'm going to try something different. Last year, some lady gave us a bunch of free hay, and so they were round bales and I couldn't fit them in the barn. So I stacked them outside and covered them with plastic. So I have tons of plastic laying around. So what I want to do is I want to cover this whole area with this manure and waste. And like I said, there's some wood chips in there. Also, you know, we bed with wood chips. So there's some wood chips in the bedding. I want to put that on here as thick as possible, and then maybe let it set for a day. Let the chickens, as you can see right there, the chickens are working hard in here, spreading it out and rooting through it. And then after that, then I'm going to cover this thing with plastic, and then I go ahead and start planting it. But right now I really want to get the peas out this week. I want to get the carrots out this week, and a couple other seeds out this week. So let's go ahead and get started here. Okay, as you can see, I got it pretty good spread out. Like I said, I always put a nice thick coating. Now this year, here's the first year I'm going to try plastic. I have all that leftover plastic from the round bales out there that I'm not going to be using on anything, so I figured that would be a good place for it. So I want to go ahead and let the chickens in here, let the chickens work this over, scratch around, peck at it, see what the chickens do with it within a day or two, and then I'm going to try to get the plastic down, and by the end of the week I want to get things planted. So all right, let's check on a few other things for today. As you can see, everything in there looks pretty good. Needs watered right now. Everything looks a little like it's a little dry. Not too bad though. But as you can see, everything took off. Even with that really cold wind we had, it didn't really put it down. If the plants would have just been out, nothing been to block that wind, they would have froze off. So also we got the cold frame over here. I should have opened the windows a little bit this morning, but I don't know how much you can see here. Let's take a look in here. Everything is taking off in here. Onions are taking off, the garlic's taking off, right there some spinach is taking off. Over there the radishes are taking off. Everything's doing really well in here too. So next I think I'm going to go ahead and water both these. So I'm going to go ahead and take care of that. Water from our rainwater collection. I mean, even though that we're on a well here, that I could use well water, but make sure that if you do live in town and you go to water your plants, that you take the water and you let it out for at least 24 hours to let the chlorine get out of the water. That is a lot better for your plants. Well, that's about all I have time for today. We got the compost spread out there. We got the bed started there for the spring, and we got the cold frames in the greenhouse there all watered up, and everything looking good for spring. So I'm going to sign out for today. I got to still do nightly chores and feeding the animals. And thanks for stopping by the homestead, and I'll see you on the next one.